Welcome to Season 3, Sunderland Football Club are Champions League. Champions League, not champions, unfortunately. Second place in the Premier League last season, and we're looking to improve the squad in a number of areas to obviously challenge for the title this year if we can, and of course for the Champions League when that comes around also. So we've got a number of players listed on the transfer market at the moment that we're looking to raise some funds with. We also have fairly hefty budget to start us off as well at 120 million, and the board, quite frankly, well, they are and aren't expecting a lot of me. They want to just finish in a top 5 or 6 spot. Only want the quarter-final in the FA Cup, but they want the semi-final in the Champions League at our first ever attempt at being in that competition. So just to FC things. On the transfer list, we currently have a number of players as well. We are looking to sell Granit Xhaka to raise some extra funds. He's just going to keep declining. It makes FC sense to sell him, so we are going to. We're going to look to replace him with someone that's equally as good. In fact, someone that's better, quite frankly. Mandalo, Sheesh, Alesi, Masuaku and Bainbridge also on the shortlist as we're looking to sign a fullback to improve at left-back. We're also looking to sign 2 central midfielders. We're looking to sign potentially a winger, potentially a striker. I've got some players on my shortlist at the moment and players that I already am pretty sure I'm going to get. So starting with the fullback role, there are only a handful, I think, on here for that particular position. Çalhanoğlu, Martson, Garcia, Raum, Svensson and Jed Spence. Jed Spence is going to be the one we're going to look to sign at fullback. He's got 3-star weak foot. We're going to start him at left-back. And hopefully he'll join us from Betis. In central midfield, we're going to look to sign Kenneth Taylor from Championship Ipswich. Because, well, he looks pretty damn tasty, to be honest, at 83 rated. And we're also going to look to sign from Inter Milan, Hakan Çalhanoğlu. We still want that older, more experienced player with quality. And quite frankly, we're not going to get any better than him with the situation he's in at the club at the moment at Inter. So we're going to bring Hakan Çalhanoğlu in. We're going to bring in Jed Spence. We're going to bring in Kenneth Taylor. I'm also tempted to bring in Mika Marmol as well. Cause he's got centre-back and left-back as his positions. But their stats that could be good enough to be played out wide. Technically, he's got stats that could be good enough to be played out wide. And at centre-mid as well. In fact, if I show you the live editor, we've updated a number of transfers for this season, of course, as we progress further into the save. Most recent ones being Xavi Simons, Nick Voltemada, etc. I'm recording this at 1:46 on Sunday. Nick Marmol, look, 80 rated centre-back, 79 full-back, 79 winger, 79 CDM. That is a squad dream. So if we've got enough money to sign him as well, then we will look to do so. We start the league season with relatively straightforward fixes with Brighton, Sheffield United and someone else. Brighton, Sheffield United and Leeds. So should be able to get off to a good start this season. Of course, as I mentioned yesterday, the new video on Sunday was a vote for who we start FC26 with. So please do go and vote on that if you haven't already. I'll leave a link to it in the description if I remember as well. So, moving forward, it's going to be a case of trying to sign those players I've already outlined, seeing what money we've got left, and maybe we'll look to sign someone else as well if we've got the pennies. But not going to waste any time. I'm going to go and certainly sign Jed Spence, Çalhanoğlu and Kenneth Taylor, and then we'll see what money we've got left. Pretty straightforward, really. Starting with Jed Spence, bringing him back to England. He's valued at 26. I'll offer 28. They might even say yes to that straight off the bat. They haven't. We've got enough to spend, on average, about 30 to 35 million per player and bring in enough to really fill out the squad the way that we want to. Obviously, we could be selling some players as well to raise some extra funds. So we can probably bring in about 6 players for roughly 30 million quid a pop is where we're at. And the plan is to bring in that many, if not hopefully more. But obviously it'll be a crucial starter, Jed Spence, in the club. No surprises there for anyone really, considering Dennis Sirkin is currently our go-to left-back at 76 rated. Trey Hume is growing well. So we're quite happy with him on the right-hand side. And 65 grand a week. I'll bring him down a little bit, but quite frankly, I don't really know as there's much negotiating needs to happen there. Try and get him down another 5. Offer him 60. And he should accept that, and then he should be in. Jed Spence. All right, he's not in. Jed Spence is in. Signing 1. More on the way. That's 1 done. Let's do number 2. Their asking price is 55 apparently for Kenneth Taylor, and he's slightly more expensive. But to get real quality in, you are going to have to pay real prices. I'll start at 35 because FC's FC, but they're actually being quite punchy here. So rather frustratingly, I am going to have to pay significantly more than valuation, I imagine. He says as actually they dropped their asking price by 10 million at just the first round of talks. All right, 43 then. Let's get that done, shall we? Thank you. Kieran McKenna. Right, he's on £52,000 a week in the Championship. He's probably going to want a little bit more than that. 83 rated and with room to grow. He'll certainly be crucial. We'll offer him 4 years as well. Is that a real life face? I think it's a real life face. We'll accept that. And then, I mean, he's probably going to want, well, he's definitely going to want a wage rise. If I offer him 75 grand a week, then that should be enough to cover it. And it is. Kenneth Taylor is in. The squad is building with quality already. And now it's time to go and get Mr. Çalhanoğlu if we can. We've got a C rating for Jed Spence, but they reckon Kenneth Taylor was an excellent deal. I'll take it. Now, Çalhanoğlu is not first team at Inter, and his contract is expiring, which is why this is actually as an available deal as possible. Now, they would like Dan Neil in return. Well, Dan Neil is the player that he'd be replacing in the starting lineup, but I still kind of want Dan Neil, if you don't mind. So, 30 mil? Nice. Hakan Çalhanoğlu is going to join us from Inter Milan. He's not being played over in Italy, despite being 86 rated. So he'll come to me, and he'll definitely get game time here, because quite frankly, he is an absolute baller. And we said we were after a set-piece wizard. Well, you can't get much more set-piece wizard than Oh. Right, I'll be honest. I thought at his current age, he'd be willing to accept a little bit of a wage drop. Incorrect, Ches. Incorrect. Okay, fair enough. Let's advance a bit, and then we'll try again for Hakan. What did we agreed 30.5 something-ish, I think, last time. So let me just offer 30, and hopefully they'll just say yes straight away. No, they still want Dan Neil. You're not having Dan Neil. Piss off. Just accept 30 million quid. Thank you, please. 31.6. 30.6. Come on. I've got a lot of people to buy and not much. Oh, fine. I've got a lot of people to buy and not much money left to do it now. When Hakan comes in. Now, we offered him 100 grand off the bat last time and they just straight up walked out. It does annoy me when they just leave and they don't give you any indication. At least give, even if we're a long way away from where you want to be, at least just give me the decency of having a counter offer. We'll offer him what he's actually can't. Ah, right. We need to make some sales. I can't afford to pay any wages for Mr. Çalhanoğlu. Right, well, he's going to walk out again. See, this, I offered them less this time. And they're willing to negotiate. Whereas last time, they just walked out like dicks. Well, I need to sell someone then. Because otherwise, I literally gave you almost every last penny. Because it left me £14 in my transfer budget. Interest in a number of the Patreon players currently. We've sold, or in the processes of selling, a handful of fringe players. But nobody's gone yet. Until now, because that is Elise leaving to go to Watford. That was only a couple of mil. Finally, Bainbridge goes as well. He's gone to Eyüpspor in Turkey. And, yeah, as Ebola, they say 1.7 mil is not really enough to give me enough money to be able to bring Çalhanoğlu in. So we're going to need a couple of other sales here. Masuaku, Brighton have bid for him. Loan to buy for Marriott. No, just a loan, please. Loans there, good. Loan there, good. And Masuaku we are looking to sell. 4.65. I'm just going to accept. Just going to accept. Right, we should be raising plenty of money to be able to bring in what we currently wanted. That's how Sheesh leaving for about 4 or so to go to Mallorca, 4.4. But we're going to need that Granit Xhaka sale if we're to bring in anyone else of note. This is going to be another sale. This is Masuaku on his way out. So, and obviously a couple of youngsters going out on loan for 12 months as well. That will definitely now have freed up enough money to bring in Çalhanoğlu. But I'm now going to have to wait another week as Mundell goes to Al Ahly. I'm going to have to wait, well, we might be close to another week through, actually. And 4.6 million for Masuaku, as we saw on his way out as well. We're nearly another week through. So I now have, remaining in my transfer budget, £54 million, 30 of which, ish, is going to go, oh, wow, lots of interest with... Toby's developed as well. Lots of interest with Patreon players. Toby's up to 82 already. I think he's got... Yeah, I think that's him peaked. The game has really done Telby dirty. He's had 2 really good seasons. It's kind of killed his potential, unfortunately. I could tweak things with the live editor, but I'm really apprehensive to delve into that. Very much so. Nottingham Forest have bid for Granit Xhaka, though, so that is good news. We might be able to now maximise a deal here. Now, this is one that I absolutely am going to negotiate. They've offered 33.4. Well, I can get close to 40. I know even 33.4 is actually considerably over his current market value. But if I can get close to 40 from Nuno, then we'd have a really tasty transfer budget left, even post Çalhanoğlu. Because basically, Xhaka for Çalhanoğlu would be a straight swap. If not, we'd make a little bit of money. They'll pay 36 for Xhaka, sorry. Excellent. Okay, we're upgrading and earning some money at the same time, which is going to be pretty perfect, really. Is this going to be Granit Xhaka going? It is. That didn't take long at all. He came, he played. He was here for about 18 months, and we've cashed in. Granit Xhaka to Nottingham Forest. Staying in the Premier League, but not for me anymore. Right. Can I try for Mr. Çalhanoğlu again, or am I still waiting? No, we can go for Çalhanoğlu again. Attempt 3. 3rd time lucky, hopefully. Right, just 1, 2, 3. Just let me have him for 31 million. Just say yes straight away. Thank you. That was easily done. Right. Please, Hakan, can we agree contract terms now? Crucial, of course, absolutely. 2-year deal is what you asked for last time. 2-year deal is what you'll have this time as well. No release clause. Now, you want a release clause. If someone gives me 74 million, then you are welcome to leave. Right, 120 grand a week and a signing bonus of... No, that's the wrong one. Wrong way. Signing bonus of... £600,000. Will you play for me? We've got our man! Hakan Çalhanoğlu's going to join from Inter Milan. I'm going to put him on every single set piece possible. Even bloody goal kicks if I could. Çalhanoğlu's in as our new highest rated player. This is going to be another youngster going out on loan. Now we are short on numbers now. We're in a position where we've got Dan Ballard's still injured for a relatively considerable amount of time. Still like 3 or 4 months left for Ballard. And I only have Navarrete available now as a youngster who is in the processes of being negotiated for a loan deal. So we've got plenty of central midfield cover. I would like... I'm probably going to start Nordi Mukiele this season. I think we're probably going to need a winger, aren't we? We've got Ponso. Sirkin can play fullback. Nordi Mukiele can play fullback. Alderete is at centre-back. Daniel, Chris Rigg and Diarra for the middle. Semenyo for up top and out wide, to be fair. He's kind of a striker or a winger, or maybe, like Semenyo now, someone that can play both. A striker-winger. How much money have I got to potentially bring in a striker-winger? Let's have a look. And I wouldn't mind bringing in that Marmol as well as a squad player. 52 million, basically. That's not a lot. Certainly for someone of quality. So Marmol is currently valued at 21 and they'd want 24. That's half of it. Am I going to be able to sign someone that's a good enough quality if I bring Marmol in? The answer is almost certainly no. We'll leave Marmol there because certainly he's someone that I might look to in January if we've got more money available somehow. But at the minute, I'm going to remove everybody else from the shortlist that I've currently got on here and prioritise signing a striker winger. We've had a look around for some striker wingers that are of a decent quality but of a value that we could justify paying and still maybe be able to bring in Mika Marmol too. We found Mikhail Tadze, who's only 5'9", but obviously got great stats, can pass and finish. And his value is 28. Serge Gnabry's contract is expiring at Bayern Munich. He's not as fast as others, although 84 acceleration is obviously still pretty decent and should be good enough to earn him some space to do what he needs to do. He can pass and finish. And then there's Pedro Neto at Chelsea, who is slightly more expensive. He's not playing because they've got Ousmane Dembele, Jamie Bino-Gittins have now got Garnacho as well as we put that transfer through. But he's more on the pricey side alongside Mikhail Tadze. I think Serge Gnabry for 20 odd million pounds or less to bring in Marmol too, it just seems like the right thing to do, considering we're probably going to need numbers as well as depth and quality. I mean, I'll be really cheeky and I'll offer 18.5 and see what Bayern say. They want Alderete. No. That was a total value of about 22 million there. I'll offer 18.9. They'll ask for 19.7. That already is less than I thought we were going to have to pay. I'll try 19.3, of which they will accept. Serge Gnabry at only 31 for 19 million pounds. I mean, that's a no-brainer, isn't it? Surely. Player with his experience and his current quality to come in as a player to not necessarily start every week, but certainly have a big impact on the way that things happen. I don't know where to go with the wages really. I'll offer him a signing bonus of 500 grand as well. And I hope he'd come for that. They've at least negotiated. I'll remove the bonus and I'll offer him a little bit more a week in wages, which will save us a bit more money, I think. £28.2 million left in the budget, and Gnabry is in. Serge Gnabry joins from FC Bayern München. Now then, Mika Marmol can play in every other position that Gnabry can't. So let's get that done too. Valued at 21. I'll offer them valuation. I'm going to have to bear in mind I'm going to need to pay... Alderete is rather sought after, isn't he? I'm going to need to be able to pay wages as well, which is obviously something we butt our heads against with... they want 27. Now, I see I can't pay that because I then only have 7 grand to offer him a week. And I'll be honest, I think he's probably going to want more than that. I mean, call me crazy, but I think he's probably going to want more than £7,000 a week. He won't want as much as 70 though, so I'm happy to pay that. This is going to be close to almost... I mean, he's only on 8,006, actually. He's only on 8,006. Rotation, sir. Once important. To be fair, he's probably going to play enough games to warrant important anyway, isn't he? A 4-year deal, please, just to protect the investment. No release clause and 32 grand a week with those bonuses. Deal done. Marmol is also in. So that's 2 more signings to add to it. No, I haven't got any money left. But who's to say we won't get a giant bid from someone for someone? We've already had West Ham bid for Mark Guiu, but it wasn't something we were looking to entertain at the time. If a Barcelona or a Real Madrid or something like that happens, then we'll have to wait and see. But I don't have any pennies left now. So the squad, as far as we're concerned at this stage of the window, is built. We'll give him everything but pens. No, Çalhanoğlu literally has everything. Hakan is our new captain, and he's going to take every free kick, every corner, and every penalty. Welcome to the team, Hakan. You are the man for us now. Right, now Liverpool have come in for Guiu. Previously, I know they were French champions, but I was quite happy to turn down 27.8 million from Stade Rennais. Leverkusen aren't Bayern or Borussia, so I was quite happy to turn them down. Liverpool, on the other hand, now Guiu does have great potential, but he is only 78 rated at the minute. But of course, whatever he sells for is basically what I'm going to have to try and replace him. And for that fee, I'm not going to be able to replace him adequately enough. I'm not even sure I want to be honest. But if they'll pay something stupid, then I'd be silly not to. But no, they're not going to play something stupid. They think that I'm stupid for trying to ask them for £85 million in the first place. So that's fine. City bid for Talby. Now this is certainly one we should, if we're being honest with ourselves, consider. We know he's peaked. We know that he doesn't always perform. And absolutely we know for that sort of money we could replace him. But City don't want to pay it. So they won't have him. I thought genuinely City might negotiate with me there, considering he's only 21 and 82 rated. But evidently they know that... See now, Getafe are bidding for Guiu. You can understand. And they've offered me Alex Sola as well. Oh, that sweetens the deal. No, it doesn't. So the attempt to go for the Premier League title begins with Brighton at home. Vladimiro Falcone in goal for them still. Çalhanoğlu, Tapsoba, Boshali and De Kuiper. Vifa and O'Reilly. Minter, Loriente, Jonas Vind at Cam with Brian Brobby at striker. It's not a bad starting 11, to be fair, for Brighton and Hove Albion. New signing Masuaku on the bench. Mishi Jovanovic, patron player on the bench as well. Yasin Ayari is pretty decent, or certainly can be. They've got Brian Garuda there too. Lamptey's still at the club, even though he's potentially on his way in real life as of recording. Might have already moved to Fiorentina by the time you see this. Making debuts today, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, Jed Spence and Kenneth Taylor. And maybe even more besides on the bench. Taylor to Talby. Mark Guiu's back in the lineup. Here's Siddiqui. Oh, mate, if it had caught me there, could have been a Hakan Çalhanoğlu chance on goal. Straight a bloody way. Now I'm desperate for free kicks. I really cannot wait to start trying to Cam Brannigan them into the back of the net with Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Minter. He's just managed to squeeze that to Vint. But Tadebo's come across and defended it well. Corner from the far side. Loriente looks like he might well go short, and does. To Minter. Delivered well. Hume underneath it. That's going to fall. Right then. Okay. That is 1-0 Brighton. Matt O'Reilly with the overhead kick. The first goal of Season 3 is not scored by a Sunderland player. And we might not see a better goal all year. It was the first effort from, I think, Minter, was it, at the back post? Was just shanked horribly. But O'Reilly reacted. And that's really a long way off the ground. That's Ronaldo against Juventus-esque there by Matt Riley. Yeah, that's pretty good. Trey Hume has been switched to left back here because he's the one with a better weak foot out of himself and new signing Jed Spence. So we're going to give Trey the option to start on the left, and Jed will come in on his favoured right-hand side. Talby here, looking for Guiu. Found well, turned brilliantly. Mark Guiu back in the side, but not yet back on the score sheet. Away to Loriente against Jed Spence. You don't accelerate past Jed Spence quite that comfortably, thank you. Tadebo to Siddiqui. It's getting a bit stretched now. not end to end, because neither side is really reaching the other end at the moment. It's just you have the ball, try and counter, fail to counter. You have the ball, try and counter, fail to counter. It's going to be a corner for Brighton here. It is indeed. They're going to look for the opportunity to make it 2. Scored from their last corner. A bit in not quite so obvious fashions. Siddiqui to Kenneth Taylor. Counter-attack is on here. I've got men with me. He's got some pace, Taylor. Talby's quicker, and he's past Çalhanoğlu. Çalhanoğlu caught him there. Nearly caught him again once we'd reached the penalty area. Edge of the box. That's not the edge of the box, is it, Kenneth? I'm trying to aim that at Çalhanoğlu. Thank you very much. Cheers. Cool, we're going to be 1-0 down at half-time. Not quite settling in with the new signings yet. Use that footwork. Taylor using his footwork. Looking for Guiu. Using his footwork. Now that is the start to the half we needed. The ground explodes. The roof flies off. And Mark Guiu is back to action in a Sunderland shirt. Mr. Gooey does it again. Siddiqui looking for Guiu. A little bit hold-up play. Wouldn't go amiss here. And bring some others into the action. Çalhanoğlu and Kenneth Taylor. Talby's on the run. Here's Gooey. Mark Guiu again. Shot blocked. Skews away. Finds Mats FIFA, unfortunately. But we have certainly had a successful team talk at half-time, because we're playing completely differently in the second half so far and running the show. That's a good ball around the corner. Quite know why it gave me Çalhanoğlu there when I chose to change player. Robbie turns and Minter makes it 2-1 Brighton. Well, despite our good start, we're behind again. Spence looking for Taylor and finding him. Talby and Guiu as options. Tell you what, Kenneth Taylor is really quite the midfield dynamo, isn't he? Getting forward. Siddiqui takes in his stride really well, looking for Adingra, looking to spin the defender, but it's a really poor touch from Simon Adingra. Going to look to make some changes now. We have some quality on the bench to look to for those changes as well. Let's go Semenyo on the left. Going to bring Gnabry on the right. I'm going to take Siddiqui off as well for Chris Rigg. I really want to get him as much first team football as we can this season as well, outside of obviously those games where he's not going to start because we need the quality of Noah Siddiqui or Kenneth Taylor. But Chris Rigg certainly is going to be the go-to substitute over Diarra. Taylor looking for Talby. Takes in his stride well. Here comes Adingra into space. Simon Adingra, there's the equaliser. I've just taken him off. I should probably put him back in again. Well done, mate. Great goal. Love that. 2-2. Inter. All right. Well in Nordi Mukiele. Thought they were going to go and take the lead again. But thankfully, no. Çalhanoğlu, lovely footwork. Completely sent one defender to ground. Turns away from the danger again as well. And Kenneth Taylor looking to feed teammates once more. Guiu. Back to Serge Gnabry on debut. Serge Gnabry serves up a storm. Sunderland 3, Brighton 2 off the bench and scores within minutes. 19 million quid for Serge Gnabry. Bargain. Really good footwork. It's a poor cross though. Kenneth Taylor dip onto that left. Rigg, give it back to him. That's FIFA read me there very comfortably, unfortunately. Oriente on the breakaway. It's not long left to go. All it takes is half a moment to score a goal. Todibo in the way though. It's not a great clearance, however. Taylor will try and get rid. Is that going to go out for a throw? I'll leave it. It has gone out for a throw, and that should seal the game for us. With not long left in the fixture, Serge Gnabry has won the game for Sunderland on debut. Off the bench, scoring within, what I'm close to say, less than 10 minutes, probably. Welcome back to the Premier League. If we are going to win the title this year, We're going to have to be more defensively solid than we were in that game against Brighton. But if every game is that entertaining, then it's going to be a hell of a third season, isn't it? Wow, Sheffield United won their first game. Manchester City lead the way. Sheffield United won 2-0 against who? Wolves. Yikes. Sheffield United. Go on, lads. Brighton have bid for Patterson. Anthony Patterson certainly is a player we could improve upon, but whether we could improve upon him for that sort of fee, I don't know. He has been pretty solid for us, Anthony Patterson. I would be apprehensive to let him go. But if you think we should look for another goalkeeper, then I might be open to it. But we would probably struggle to find someone for that sort of money. We've got 9 million left at the minute in the transfer budget. Almost exactly 9 million. And then the bid from Patterson is currently 25. I could get maybe 30-ish plus. Maybe 31. An absolute push. So we'd have probably about whatever we get for him to spend, factoring in wages as well. We'll have about 30 million to spend on a new goalkeeper, and I'm not sure we can guarantee getting someone of similar or better quality for that value. I'll have a quick look at Patterson's stats here. So he's only 6'2". He does have the far reach and far throw play styles. The far reach is certainly a significant factor in why he's been so good for us. I'd say that's a real genuine factor into why Patterson has been so solid. Reflexes of 86 and diving of 83 are certainly up there too. Positioning is only 77, but reactions are 73. Speed of 24. He's been really solid for us, but do we? Is the question I'm going to ask you. And that is where we'll end today's episode. I might put this one live slightly earlier in the day so we can get feedback. Although, to be fair, no, this will go live at the usual time of 3 p.m. We'll just record on Wednesday morning and get an episode out for you as soon as possible on the Wednesday. But we'll leave you guys to decide whether we do or don't sell Patterson. And if we do, who do I bring in to replace him? You can have the choice. Really pleased with the debuts of everybody, though. I think we've had a really strong window so far. Hopefully, it might get better yet still. I'll see you tomorrow.